Hello there, this is EM Fresh for Fresh to the Extreme. And Happy New Year. I haven't been putting any videos on for the past few months. I've had some personal issues. But we're back here at Grandview Park in Moundsville, West Virginia. It's 20 minutes outside of Wheeling, West Virginia, about 60 minutes from Pittsburgh, and an hour and 40 minutes, depending on the time of day, uh, from where I live in Morgantown, West Virginia. Okay, and as you can see here, I am doing sort of a pre-ride. I was curious about this trail,
Kind of
and I've
tight.
seen ads on Facebook about it. And if you look at some of our videos on our channel, you can see my
Tree down.
wife, Jerry. She did a tour of the actual place before it's open. It's not quite open yet because it's wintertime. It's basically a summer adventure center. They have, as you can see up there, like we call those things. You just swing across the rope, zip line, and all sorts of
Trees
things.
after trees.
But right now I'm riding the mountain bike loop from West Virginia Mountain Bike Association, and it's also sponsored by a few bike shops in Morgantown, Pittsburgh, Wheeling area, most notably Walmsley's and Pathfinder. They've made some jumps and ramps.
Out here
As you can
today.
see here, it's kind of hard. It was kind of hard to follow. The map isn't quite that accurate, but it gives you an idea. I was using trail forks, and it helped out a lot. As you can see here, there's been a lot of trees down, a lot of mud, and so it looks like the crew here, the trail crew, is trying to create drainage so that the park drains. But I can tell from, in retrospect, after riding on this trail, that it is a very fast trail. Okay, you don't need an e-bike. But right now I'm riding my Turbo Levo, and I always ride it before if I'm by myself and I don't know where I'm going to, so I can bail out or get back to civilization. And so that's what you see here. I'm just pre-riding it before I bring my new XC bike back, or considered down country.
Please.
My Revel bikes, Revel Ranger, so I can ride XC type of trails with lots of punchy climbs. I had some trouble. I've condensed this video down. I was out here for about an hour and 40 minutes, but I condensed it down to 10 minutes, so you didn't see me flipping backwards, because there's some chutes, a lot of chutes that you need speed on, and you're not going to make it up unless you just take your hands off the brakes. I couldn't even make it up on the motor, you know. Like right here, the GoPro does it no justice. That's why, as you can see there in the picture, you see the little stick there with the camera on it. That's the Insta 360, and
Okay, good.
I've just been accepted as a sponsor or by Insta 360. So I'm just testing it out. As you saw at the beginning there, I was a picture of myself, but I have a few gripes about it, but I'm not going to put that in this video. As you can see here, I'm on the far side of the park, and it's pretty much a lot of trees are falling down, and I don't think anyone's really rode over here in a long time. And so I'm like, oh, I'm out here. So the trail is actually there, but it's underneath all the leaves and the falling down trees. But anyway, I find my way out. I'm getting the trail back, and over here it looks like it would be kind of fun once it gets cleaned up and all these trees are moved out of the way. See a little jump there, and then you'll see as I climb back up, there's some drops like that somebody has created, but I just can't figure out how to get there. I guess you just push your bike up and then drop off of it. But that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just pre-riding and trying to find the trail so I can mark it on my trail forks. And you see some of the signs there, they'll start to say XXX. Those are the sponsored trails by the bike shops, and they're very fast trails. like I said before, the GoPro doesn't know justice. You gotta just take your hands off the brakes because there's gap jumps over little streams and stuff. And there was a lot of water today. I almost got, well, I got the nerves, and then it's coming up here in a second, and I almost stopped on the jump itself, and it's like a 4-foot drop, but a gap jump, so you need speed right here, for example. And I'm like, here's the drop right there. Oh, actually, I made that one. It looks like I didn't drop very far, but it's probably like 3 or 4 feet off the ground. And you need that speed to get across. So it's definitely an XC trail. Okay, and if you don't know the difference between the bikes, I know now. I didn't understand the difference between the XC, because I mostly ride big bikes, like the big travel bikes, like the Slash, 180 on front, 160 in the back, downhill session, 200 millimeters. And this Turbo Lebo has 150 in the back and 160 in the front. So it's a big enduro type of trail bike. It's a mullet. But there's a lot of trees down. You see, that's really steep. It's oil slick. So I'm like, I'm trying to take it easy. But you see my wheel sliding off the side there. But the key is just to go down it. There's traction. You don't really need to worry about it. The trail crew has pretty much, looks like, cleared off all the obstacles so you don't wrap yourself around a tree or anything like that. But it could be a very fast XC trail. I already know it. A little trail work there for you. There's a lot of trees and branches in the way that slows you down. And but this particular trail, I'll put my Strava link if you want to follow me on Strava to see this trail. It's about 8.5 miles. On their map it's 7, but they added extra miles in there, an extra 1.5 miles of trail in there that's not on the map, even on the park maps that they give you. If you go to the Welcome Center there, and I'll show you where that is. That's you saw in the beginning there where my van was parked. It's just to the left there. Very nice park, very well. Some money's being definitely put into it. And you can see here is a little steep section. I'm like, oh, doesn't look like it, but man, it's like straight down. I'm riding the brakes all the way down, very lightly. Yeah, but and then there's some chutes right here. This is really steep, and I barely made it up, even with the motor. It's so steep, like very steep. I almost flipped back. Actually, I did flip backwards on a few of these, just because I didn't have enough speed, first of all, and my the fork here is very slack. This geometry on this S-Works Levo is very slack. So it's meant for downhills. It's meant for taking it, but if you go too slow, you'll flip backwards. I didn't show you that before. But yeah, and so I'm taking it easy. I don't want to get taken out of the box too early in the season here and have to start over with YouTube. But here we go. We're headed back now. I'm just showing some highlights of the trail. Trying to get faster, but I just don't know what's coming up ahead. Almost went off the side of a mountain. If you see those XXX signs, that means it's a fast, chute, I call it. A downward chute that you just got to left off the brakes so you get up the other side. Yeah, it's like maybe a 20-foot, 30-foot chute, drop, and then to a little ravine, and you'll come back up to the other side. Perfect for an XC bike. The trails are not rocky, nice and pretty much smooth. There's a few little rocky places. Typical XC type of stuff. Stopped and took a picture there of the little overlook there. And I'm headed back to the van now. Here's another chute that I'm like, oh, it's like muddy too. My tires are skidded all over the place. Didn't have very much traction. I don't want to fall again. And so it's pretty easy to follow once you know how the trail goes. Here's another chute. And so you can see my Insert 360 stick is down. But of course, that's another review. I'm not going to get into that. So we're headed back. We're done now. So if I hadn't before, thank you for subscribing. But if you want to see more, if you want to see the to 360, subscribe to be notified. I'm gonna do more videos with that, and then more. If you're bringing your family here, Jerry will have a video on. Subscribe for that so you can be notified, so you can see. Even though you're not a mountain biker, you can walk some of these trails and then partake of some of the activities here as well when the park is completely open. Anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing.